If you're over 60, chances are you start your morning with eggs, scrambled, boiled, or in an omelet. They're quick, packed with protein, and often seen as a smart, healthy choice. But what if I told you that one of the most trusted breakfasts can quietly turn into poison, simply because you mix it with the wrong foods? Most people never stop to think about what they're pairing with their eggs. But certain combinations can increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, and put unnecessary strain on your heart and digestion. And the worst part, these side effects don't always show up right away. They build slowly, meal after meal, until something feels off and you don't know why. In this video, we'll take a closer look at 5 foods you should never mix with eggs, especially if you're trying to protect your energy, stay sharp, and age with strength. Stick with me till the end, because I'll also share 3 of the most effective pairings with eggs to unlock real muscle gains, boost fat burning, and give your body the support it truly needs after 60. And before we begin, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. It's always inspiring to see how this community continues to grow, no matter the distance between us. Now let's get started with number 1. Eggs with processed meats like bacon, sausage, or ham. This classic American breakfast may feel comforting and familiar, but it's also one of the worst pairings for people over 60. These meats are high in saturated fats, sodium, and nitrates, all of which have been linked to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, and a greater risk of heart disease. When combined with eggs, which naturally contain cholesterol and fat, the total load on your cardiovascular system rises sharply, especially if you're eating this way regularly. Over time, that strain can show up in ways many seniors are already concerned about: fatigue, shortness of breath, higher cholesterol levels, or trouble managing blood pressure. What makes this combination especially concerning is how easily it becomes routine. Many older adults rely on simple, familiar breakfasts, and eggs with bacon or sausage feel like a safe, satisfying choice. But according to research published in the British Medical Journal, frequent consumption of processed meats is associated with a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease and serious long-term health complications, particularly in adults over 60. These meats contain preservatives like sodium nitrite, which can damage the lining of blood vessels and interfere with nitric oxide, a molecule the body needs to maintain healthy circulation. This is incredibly important later in life, when arteries naturally become less flexible and more prone to plaque buildup. And because this type of breakfast is often eaten in the morning, when the body's already under metabolic stress from the overnight fast, the inflammatory and vascular impact may be even greater. In short, this is a combination that might taste good in the moment, but over time, it works against your body in ways you may not feel until it's too late. Number 2, cheese. For many people, adding cheese to eggs is second nature. Whether it's shredded cheddar in an omelet or a slice of American cheese on a breakfast sandwich, the combination is everywhere and often seen as harmless. But after 60, the body's ability to handle excess saturated fat and sodium begins to decline. And unfortunately, cheese brings plenty of both. Many popular cheeses, especially hard and processed types like cheddar, Swiss, and American, are high in saturated fats, which can raise bad cholesterol levels and contribute to the hardening of arteries. That's already a concern with age, as blood vessels become less elastic and more vulnerable to blockages. When paired with eggs, which contain dietary cholesterol and fat on their own, this combination can push your morning meal far beyond what your cardiovascular system can comfortably process. Over time, the repeated intake of this high-fat pairing can contribute to elevated cholesterol, fatty liver changes, and worsening inflammation. even in those who appear healthy on the outside. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that high saturated fat intake is linked to reduced endothelial function, meaning the inner lining of blood vessels becomes less able to expand and contract as needed. This is especially dangerous in older adults, where circulation and heart health are already more fragile. And unlike with obvious junk food, the problem with cheese is that it feels normal, even nutritious, especially when paired with eggs. That's what makes it so easy to overlook and so easy to overdo. Number 3, white toast and pastries. For many older adults, eggs and toast go hand in hand. Whether it's white bread, a biscuit, or a muffin on the side, the idea is that a little starch balances out the meal. But the reality is more complicated, especially after 60. White bread and pastries are made from refined flour, stripped of fiber and nutrients. These foods break down quickly in the body, causing a sharp rise in blood sugar shortly after eating. That spike is especially problematic when combined with a protein-rich food like eggs, because the body struggles to process both efficiently at the same time, often leading to digestive sluggishness, sugar crashes, and long-term strain on insulin function. For seniors managing prediabetes, high cholesterol, or excess belly weight, this combination can quietly work against progress. Over time, frequent morning spikes in blood glucose may contribute to insulin resistance, increased fat storage around the midsection, and greater difficulty maintaining stable energy throughout the day. A 2020 study published in Nutrients found that older adults who regularly consume refined carbohydrates at breakfast had higher markers of inflammation and blood sugar instability compared to those who started the day with fiber-rich or balanced meals. And while toast may seem innocent enough, the hidden effect is cumulative, especially if eaten most mornings. It's not about cutting carbs entirely, but combining eggs with fast-digesting, low-fiber starches is a common mistake that makes a healthy breakfast far less supportive than it appears. Number 4, orange juice and smoothies. For many people, a glass of orange juice alongside eggs feels like the picture of a healthy breakfast. It's bright, fresh, and packed with vitamin C, or so we've been told. But after 60, this combination can quietly create more problems than it solves. Fruit juices, even 100% natural ones, are high in natural sugars and lack the fiber needed to slow down how quickly that sugar enters the bloodstream. When paired with eggs, which are dense in protein and fat, the body is forced to manage two very different digestion processes at once. For older adults whose metabolism and insulin sensitivity often slow with age, this can result in poor glucose control, bloating, and even post-meal fatigue. The problem becomes even more pronounced with store-bought smoothies, which may appear healthy but often contain multiple servings of fruit, added sugars, or sweetened yogurts. In a single glass, you can unknowingly consume 30 to 40 grams of sugar, the equivalent of several teaspoons, all hitting your system quickly, especially on an empty stomach. Research from the Journal of Nutrition and Aging has shown that frequent intake of fruit juice, particularly in the morning, is associated with higher fasting blood sugar levels in adults over 65, even among those who don't have diabetes. This doesn't mean fruit is bad, but in liquid form, without fiber, the sugar acts more like soda than whole food. And when it's paired with eggs, the result isn't balance, it's metabolic confusion. Number 5, ketchup and sugary sauces. It might seem like a small detail, just a little ketchup on scrambled eggs, or a dab of barbecue sauce on the side. But these small additions can quietly undo many of the benefits you're trying to get from your breakfast. Most commercial condiments like ketchup, BBQ sauce, honey mustard, or even sweet chili sauce are loaded with added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. A single tablespoon of ketchup contains around 4 grams of sugar, and most people use more than one without thinking twice. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to sugar spikes, and the pancreas often has to work harder to keep blood glucose in check. When sugary sauces are paired with eggs, they create a confusing metabolic signal, a high-protein food mixed with fast-digesting simple sugars. This mismatch can contribute to poor insulin response, increased inflammation, and cravings that last the rest of the day. A 2021 study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that older adults who consume meals with hidden sugars, particularly from condiments, had higher rates of insulin resistance, weight gain around the abdomen, and elevated triglycerides even when total calorie intake was moderate. And because sauces are added casually, often without measuring, their impact is rarely noticed until lab results start creeping up or energy crashes become more common. It's not about giving up flavor, but when that flavor is coming from sugar and additives, especially first thing in the morning, it becomes another silent contributor to long-term health decline. So now that we've gone through the foods you should avoid pairing with eggs, let me give you 3 of the most effective pairings that actually enhance the benefits of your breakfast, especially after 60. These are simple, everyday ingredients that work with your body, not against it. Number 1, avocado for heart health and better nutrient absorption. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats that help lower the bad kind of cholesterol and support healthy blood vessels. They also improve the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients in eggs, like vitamin D and choline, which are key for brain health and bone strength as you age. Number 2, cooked leafy greens for circulation and digestion. Spinach, kale, or Swiss chard provide fiber, potassium, and antioxidants that help lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and keep digestion moving smoothly, all of which become more important with age. Number 3, sweet potatoes for stable energy and muscle support. Unlike white toast or pastries, sweet potatoes provide complex carbs and potassium, which support steady blood sugar and help prevent muscle cramps or weakness, especially common in older adults. These aren't trends. They're practical, affordable, and proven choices that help your breakfast actually work for you, not just fill you up. Making small changes like these might not feel dramatic at first, but over time, they build something far more valuable than habits. They build resilience, because after 60, your body is still capable of healing, strengthening, and adapting. It just needs the right kind of support, and breakfast is a good place to start. So next time you sit down with a plate of eggs, remember, what you add to that plate matters. A little awareness, a little adjustment, and your morning meal can become one of the most powerful tools you have for staying sharp, steady, and strong. If this information was helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Every week I share simple, practical health tips designed to help you feel stronger, clearer, and more in control, no matter your age. And let me know in the comments, what's your favorite combo with eggs? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.